And we are live on another edition of Briggsy on Sports. Yes, you heard that correct. Briggsy on Sports. I've been waiting since Mr. Kirkpatrick and I had plans to put this together, but hey, I am ready to go. We are honoring our great friend tonight, Mr. Briggs. We got special guests, and you see one of our special guests right there, Mr. Kirkpatrick. I am going to turn it over to you, but I know Mr. Briggsy got a great seat up top watching this, and I don't know where this is going to go, but it's going to be good and in Briggsy style tonight, Mr. Kirkpatrick.
No, like you said, and one of our guests, not special guests, one of our friends and members of our team is with us tonight. And glad he's with us, Mr. Siciliano. We'll get his intro in a second. But along with Mr. Siciliano, Mr. Briggs is the reason why I'm doing this today. We went, by our K&K Sports Show. And he's the reason why I met so many wonderful people along the way, and that including Bobby Blackjack, Johnny Beelan back in the day, he's still with us today. Mark Calderio, long friend of mine, reunited with him. Of course, Sis, we're now living together, but reunited with Sis after the Ramapo days because of Briggs and the show. And then, of course, our new members on K&K, Carson Shearer. We met Carson because of Briggs. We met Paul Rosen because of Briggs. We met Joey Clams because of Briggs. We met Scoops. And then last but not least, our great friends over at Rocky Mountain Sports Network, including Keith, Trevor, Albert, and Jody, and many, many, many more friends along the way, thanks to Mr. Briggs. So I definitely wanted to acknowledge all the wonderful people that we've met along the way, thanks to his vision to start Briggsy on Sports, and for us, we were inspired to start K&K because of Briggsy on Sports. So thank you, Mr. Briggs, and I know you're watching us tonight.
Good friend, that PA Scratcher guy's clapping. What's up, PA Scratcher?
Hey, PA.
Our good friend Michael Ronquillo is joining us. Hope he joins us for the Bronco Show in an hour. And our good friend Roy Osborne, hope he joins us for our Bronco Show in an hour, saying, hey there, Kenny and Kurt. And all this is only my 7th show I watched today. So
lucky number 7.
Mr. Sis, I want to go to you real quick. I mean, you and I obviously known each other, started coaching each other with 2001 at Ramapo. So obviously then, you got to know Mr. Briggs. Just a couple words for Mr. Briggs. It's been, a couple years now, right? And we miss him every day. I mean, we wish we were doing a show with him tonight because, when he did the show, Mr. Briggs was unique, and he's unique. But Sis, I want to get some thoughts from you about Mr. Briggs.
Yeah, actually, you had introduced me to him at the firehouse, the old firehouse. That's the first time I was introduced to him. And, we hit it off right from the beginning. He was a gentle soul, Briggsy. He wouldn't hurt a fly. And it was a shame. I mean, he was 45 years old?
Yeah, he was young. And there's cousin Lori. Lori saying hi, guys. So Lori.
Hey, Lori.
What's up, Lori? Yeah, he was... Again, he was a gentle soul, a great friend, and we did a lot of Meadowlands together, me and him. Mm-hmm. Even during the pandemic.
There you go. Yep. But Kenny, while we're doing that, we're going to bring in. I'll let you handle the slide because I got a couple slides tonight. I'll let you handle that. We got some pictures and stuff like that. But getting into the show, right? I mean, listen, we go way back, Kenny. We knew him, obviously, grammar school and stuff like that. And then, we became great, great friends. We were all great friends in high school. And we could sit here for days and talking about, our senior year with baseball and just going through our lunchrooms with him and stuff like that. But he was one of a kind, man. And when me and him got back and he starts saying, hey, let's do a sports show. It was like, I don't know. And we used to do like 2 hours. So when we did those 2 hours, it was like, we loved each other, man. But it was like we were at each other's throats for those 2 hours, and that's what makes good sports talk. It was never, okay, I'll agree with you. You agree with me. Like he would always get under my skin and hey, let's try to go and get me fired up, and I would get him fired up. So, you know, we sit here and we say every week, Kenny, but we owe it to him. He's the one that started like doing these shows with us, and
Yep.
we owe it to him, Kenny. What's your thoughts?
Oh, you know what? And I said I wasn't gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it because he's telling me to do it. I had go out in our backyard. I've been hanging out in the backyard, getting some sun, and for the last couple of weeks, and there's been a cardinal hanging around every single day. Every single day I go out in the backyard, there's been a cardinal, and that represents a loved one watching or hanging out with you. So, Briggsy, I know, would come after you. He's a huge Bronco fan. And I'm only going to do this in 2 minutes. I really think he would not like the Bo Nix draft pick. And he's telling me he's not liking this Bo Nix pick. And I'm doing my best Briggsy on him. And Kurt, I'm going to probably do it on your Broncos show tonight. But failure after failure after failure after failure at quarterback. And you think this guy not even throwing one pass, you already got him going to the Super Bowl in a couple of years. And it's just ridiculous in my opinion. It's okay to believe in a quarterback, but to have him going to the Super Bowl already in 2 years, 3 years, no, you can't do that, Kurt. And that's what you're doing. So, in my best Briggsy, that was coming after you about Bo Nix, and we'll get into it a little later. But he told me to come after you about Bo Nix. So,
Sis, knowing Briggsy, he's probably screaming. I'll probably get some kind of a message later that he didn't like the pictures I chose for the thing tonight. His hair look, but just look at Briggsy's hair. Like, I mean, he's always done it. Like I would say to him, where are we going tonight? Where are we going? I got to go get a haircut. Where are you going a haircut? I got to go to the mall. How long are you going to be? 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours. Jen does my haircut in 3 minutes. This guy's taking 4 hours for haircuts. So that's what Briggsy was. But, and you're right, Kenny, he would antagonize me, but listen, he wasn't all in on Peyton Manning. Like he was a Manning fan, but there was a lot of things he didn't like about Peyton Manning. He hated all the gyration at the line, and he would be yelling, "Stop with that! Snap the ball!" He was all in that, and I agree with you. I don't think he would be a Bo Nix fan.
No, I know what he told me. That's why that Cardinal was hanging around every day, just hanging around, watching me, like just hanging out with me. Keith's got a couple good comments, Kurt. I want you to read them real quick.
Yeah, Keith is saying, good to see you, sis. So that's from Keith Brugman, sis. Everything I've heard, Briggsy was always one that could get a party started, as well as a hell of a guy. Absolutely. Keith is saying he loves us all at the K&K Sports Show. Roy saying, man, Kurt, you remind me so much of a cornhole player I compete against. You look like him, you act like him, but at the end of the day, we both respect each other. I never got to know Briggsy, however, sounds like a great guy. He was, sis. I mean, the thing with Briggs, and I really mean when I say this, sis, is he was one of a kind. There was never going to be another Briggs. There's just, but I will say this about him too. And I truly mean this, like regardless of good day, bad day, whatever situation he's in, he was always there for you. He would always be there for you, always try to make the best of a situation. And it was just like, you never knew, like, it's like, that's a Briggsy thing, that's a Briggs thing. And it's just, even doing our show, Kenny, and we got the video where, he's on the show and some woman's coming into the thing, like screaming at somebody while we're doing the show. And what does Briggsy do? Like Briggsy went to say, like,
he's going
get
like
out,
this.
get out of the room. And he hits the pizza. The pizza falls all over the place while we're doing a live stream. Bobby's like, I don't know what to do. I guess we keep filming. And it's just, Briggsy was one of a kind, Kenny. And people like that are very hard to come by. Like I know I'm one of all I hear from you people are like that. I'm like that. I don't eat this. I don't eat that. I get mad at this. I do that. I complain about this. So listen, I guess I'm in good company, Briggsy, by doing that. But he truly was, man. There was nobody like him, sis. Nobody like him.
No. Keith, how you doing, Keith? What was that place we used to go with him in Carlston?
Balcony.
Yes.
The balcony. Yeah, the balcony. And listen,
oh no, go ahead, Kurt. Go ahead.
you know, and there's the picture. That's when it all started. You know, there's Bobby, me, Briggsy. You know, like Briggsy would, you know, you're not dressed up for the show. I had to go with how I went to work, or like in a dress shirt to do the show. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm still in work clothes. But you know, shout out to the Firehouse Restaurant. Like you said, sis, that's where you met him.
Yep.
And it was great. It was like we were doing on you know, on location shows. Kenny, I know you came down with Shay and you met us there, and you did a show with us. And it's just, you know, it brings back not just memories of him. I mean, listen, you know, we have, you know, I knew him from when we were 6 and 7 years old, right? So you know, just not that, but bringing back memories of, you know, every time we do a show, it's like, because of Briggsy, you know, like, we're not doing a show if it's not for Briggsy. So it's, I'll be honest, like, I don't know. I'm going to, you know, listen, you say never, but I don't think we're doing it, Kenny. What do you say about that?
I don't think there's, what was it, Kurt? Never be.
I'm saying I don't know if we're doing shows like you know, like he inspired us to do the show.
Oh,
like he
1,000,000%
you know
inspired us. He's the reason why we're doing this today. You know, again, you know, repeating myself, you know, he's the reason why we, all joking aside, if we're not doing a show, Kurt, are we talking every day? Are we, you know, we're best of friends, but are we hanging out like we have?
No.
You know, is he, you know, Sis and I are now living together. Of course, we become
and you know what?
friends.
For that, I'm going to say thanks, Briggs, for that. Now I got to deal with you every damn day, Kenny. Thanks, Briggs. Because of that, I deal with you on a level. So,
but,
no,
but
you're right.
You're right. He's definitely the reason why we met so many great people along the way, and going to meet so many more in the future. I mean, every day we meet new people. We met Roy Osborne. All these people we meet are because of Briggs, you know?
Yep.
You know, he's the one that got us started. We would have never done this, but I know we got someone backstage waiting to come on, Kurt. Get them in a minute.
Let's just read a couple comments. Our good friend Wayne Dixon. What's up, guys? Nice of you to honor Briggs. And you know what? Wait, we're doing it, but remember too, it was just his birthday. This is his birthday month. So, you know, we did a little birthday special, and you said, you know what, we haven't done this in a while. And we kind of lied too, though. We said we're never going to do a Briggsyonsports again, but we're doing a Briggsyonsports. And we're going to do that. We're going to, every now and then, we're going to come back and honor him, because again, he's always part of us. You feel him with us now. You know, he's, you know, making fun of doing this, making fun of that, making fun of me, you, Bobby, Lori. So, you know, a couple comments again from our good friend Zoli. Sadly missed. New Mike was a little kid. New Mike as a little kid being friends with Richie. Always a great guy. Rest in peace. Alex saying Briggs. Keith is saying, I can just imagine all you guys running around looking like the movie The Hangover. Zoli saying Briggsyonsports, where it all started. Our good friend Wayne Dixon. Again, what's up, guys? Nice of you to honor Briggs, of course. And we're going to continue to do it. I mean, he's part of this, you know.
I'm going to do a quick 30-second story, and then we'll start bringing people in.
Okay. Yep.
I remember coming on as your guest on shows when you and Briggsy were doing it from your house, and Sis would come and be a guest as well, call in. And Briggs is that one person that would piss you off, and then your friends, like 30 seconds after the show, you're back to being friends. And I remember one particular episode that definitely pissed Sis off and Briggs pissed off, and it was about a money line, wits and wagers.
Oh yeah,
and Sis would give his bets of the week, and Briggs said no, it's not. And Briggs, long story short, had me go back to listen to the tape, make sure that he got his point wrong, that Sis was wrong. And it says Sis was probably mad at him for 30 seconds, but he has that special ability, Briggs, that you're mad at him for 30 seconds, and then you forgive him 30 seconds after the show, and you're back to being best of friends.
And I'll take Briggs was never wrong. Kenny, Briggs was never wrong. Never wrong. And if you said he's wrong, he's coming after you to make him 10 times worse, right? So let's bring in Lori real quick. I'm going to bring in Lori first, Kenny.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Lori.
Lori? How are you?
I'm good. Nice to see you guys. This is great. I'm loving hearing these stories.
Yeah,
Too funny.
absolutely, Lori. And like I said, I think he's been hanging around with me for the last couple of weeks. I've had this random cardinal hanging around in the backyard and keep visiting me and hanging out with me, not just flying by, but literally hanging out with me. And I think it's Briggs.
Oh, probably. You know, it's his birthday month, and you know how he is. I heard you talking about the Broncos and what's going on. So definitely
Yep.
trying to give you, you know, what you would know that he would say and do. So I
Oh, yeah.
agree with you with that. Yep.
Yep.
Wayne's saying hello, Lori, just so you
Hi,
know. Wayne's
Wayne.
saying Lori. And Lori, you know, I'll get before Sis and we'll go back to Kenny, of course. But obviously you're one of, you know, you probably know him the best, right? Cousins with him. And, you know, we said, agree or disagree with me. Like, there'll never be another Briggs. Like, he was always one of a kind. And it was just like, I don't know. I can't see anybody ever being Briggs. Like, what's your thoughts on that?
I would agree with you 100%. I mean, like you were saying earlier, right? You would get so mad, so frustrated at him, but within minutes, you know, you had to just laugh and just, you know, it went right back to normal. You know, he would get right under your skin. You'd be so frustrated. I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with this. And what do? Boom, right back with them,
And you know,
laughing, right?
and you
Laughing
know what,
about what
guys?
just happened and going about the night, right? Having so much fun.
And you know
Always
what,
fun.
sis? Like, I wish you could see like we did our Zumbas, right? Like, you know, Lori, me, Briggs, we did like a Zumba class, and it would be like, you know, Briggs going at Lori, Briggs going at me. Like, it was just like everyone arguing, not like arguing, but like, and just being like a stickler with each other. But you know, we talk about this, Laura, and we said, you know, if it wasn't for Briggs, and you know, we do so many podcasts now, we do so many different shows, and I do it with Jen, and we do it with Kenny, and you know, Sis was involved, and we get all our Denver guys, our Colorado guys, but if it wasn't for him and him saying to me, hey, let's do the show, I mean, we may never. You know, we're probably not doing this right now and doing this 3, 4, 5, 6 times a week, you know, and you know, it's all because of him. You know, it's because of him. And you know, it's a way we've always said. I know we said we're never going to do a Briggsyonsports, like quote unquote Briggsyonsports, but you know, we have to, because that's where it all started. And we'll do like special editions now and then of doing it. And again, it's his birthday month, and listen, he's sorely missed. But what else you want to say about him? Like, you know, again, you know him probably the best. So how much you miss him, and you know, what's different, and just, you know, just what it was like to like be so close to him.
Oh my God. I mean, our whole life, obviously we're cousins, and he was like a brother to me. I don't have siblings. So we grew up, we're only a year apart. And with Richie too, we're all a year apart. Amy, all of us, and me and Amy are only 6 months apart. So we all grew up like brother and sisters. And oh, the torture he put us through growing up. I remember one time, oh, I probably told this story. We were at our grandmother's house, and we were talking to like boys outside, and he opens the window of the second floor and dumps a pot of water on our heads. Literally, we are dripping as we're thinking we're so cool talking to boys. That's the stuff he did, the torture stuff he did to us as kids. It was just hysterical, you know, just busting us, wrestling moves would put us in the DDTs, whatever you call it, and body slam us. And oh, the stories, the stories. We would all sleep at our grandmother's house every weekend and all summer long. So there was 3 bedrooms in the house. So we would take the mattress off of one of the beds, and we would have what we called our playroom. So we would take the mattress and put it in the playroom, because there wasn't a bed in that room, just a couch. And we would wrestle, literally wrestle. But, you know, I mean, Michael didn't just carefully wrestle. He would literally like wrestle us like WWF at that time, right?
Yep.
Wrestle us. Like, it just the stories just go on and on and on. And then obviously when we're older, you know how it was, the Zumba classes, the
Yep.
competition, right? Dancing all over the floor, going out the balcony.
Sis mentioned that before, the balcony, you
He
know, like,
loved the balcony, loved the
Yeah,
balcony.
that was
That
his
was like
spot.
one of,
Yep, yep.
yeah, the one of
That
his
was
favorite
his spot.
places. Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
best,
it was great.
I gotta give a best story because listen, he's probably gonna do something to me later to get me, but I gotta tell you, we go on a New Year's Eve party. First time I ever go to the balcony. He says, you gotta go. So we go to the balcony. Sis, I don't think you went this year. It was me, him, Ryan went, but I think Rob and Ashley met us. My sister Ashley and Rob, her husband. So
Mm.
we go in this place. There has to be hundreds of people in this place. There's not only New Year's Eve, it's also like a meetup or something. I think it was called the meetup. So Briggsy's talking to people like only Briggsy is. Next thing you know, I see Briggsy has a tag on him from the meetup. He's not part of the meetup, but he's got a sticker on him. It's like, hello, my name is Steven. So I'm like, yo, you got a sticker on. So he's like, what are you talking about? I said, look, you got a sticker. Like, you're like, people are calling, hey, Steven, like, you're not answering. Like, and I'm saying, Briggs, you got a sticker. He's like, where'd you get it? I don't know. How do you not know you got a sticker? Somebody put the sticker on. So anyway, that night we go, where's Briggs? I can't find Briggs. Right. First of all, again, it's hundreds of people in this place, like wall to wall. Where's Briggs? So my brother-in-law, Rob's like, I don't know. I think Briggs got thrown out. I think he got thrown out. So I'm like, how did he get thrown out? How could he get thrown out of the balcony? Right. So next thing you know, Ryan's like, he's not going to be able to come back in. 10 minutes later, who was back in the balcony? Mr. Briggs was in that balcony. I don't know how he got back in, but he was in with his Steven sticker at the meetup. And that's a night I will never forget just because he's walking around people. Hey, Steven, people, you know, he's like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And I'm like, yo, you have a sticker on. You have a sticker. Then he's like, how'd he get there? I don't know. Somebody must have put it on from the meetup. How he's even part of the meetup, I don't know, because we didn't go with the meetup. So that's just something always. Sis, I don't know if you could see, but there's your picture from Mr. Krabby's that night. I don't know if you could see it on the screen.
Is that Mr. Krabby's? Yeah,
That's
I can
Mr.
see
Krabby's
it.
right there.
Yep. Kurt, I want to get to a comment that Trevor put up and want you to read it to Lori because it's one of the Bronco. Oh, let me take it off the screen so we don't lose Lori there. I'm going to hide it.
Okay.
Just read it. But so Kurt, you can explain Lori Trevor's from Denver Bronco Roundup. You can read it for Lori there, Kurt.
Okay. I'm sorry, real quick, because we have two more guests coming in. Trevor, good to see you, sis. I hope all is well, my friend. Rest in paradise, Michael Briggs. I am very thankful that I've gotten to know all of you. It is really awesome to hear your guys' story of how it all started. And again, we got Bobby. He's in the background. He's going to come in, hey, I mean, it was those two guys that started it. Again, otherwise, who knows if we're here tonight, Kenny. So while we bring the other guests, Laura, do you want to hang on while we bring the other guests? You want to stay with us, or it's up to you? Totally up to you.
Yeah, I just want to say a few more things whenever. But let other people. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Kurt, I was just gonna say, do you remember at the firehouse when it first started, and we used to go in that back room, in the front room actually, and it was so cold outside. It was winter, and you guys used to make me go outside to call in to see if it worked. And I was like, I don't know what to say. What am I supposed to say? And you guys would tell me what to say because we were testing it, and I would be freezing. Like,
we're in the heat. Me and Briggs are in the heat, and you're outside in the 10-degree weather.
Yeah, and you would make me go outside to call in. Oh, the fun times. It was like on Thursday nights at the firehouse where it all started. Yep.
And Bobby's going to come in, but those calls never worked. They had me try dozens of times, and they never worked. And blamed my internet connection at home and my phone connection at home. I would always get blamed from them. Never got it to work.
And real quick, before we bring Tim and Bobby and a couple more things, Zoli saying classic Briggs. I remember the wrestling all the time between him and Richie. And then my brother-in-law, Paul, saying, was that the picture of the Mayweather and McGregor fight? Yes, it was. That's when we had a bunch of people went. I think Mikey the Mush went. Ryan went. Sis went. We were all there. Kenny, you weren't there, but it was a great night. I got to tell a funny story. I got to tell you a story of like serious though about Briggs and like what makes Briggs, right? Like I remember our wedding, my wedding day. He was the first one that I'm sorry, not it was it? Yes, it was the Friday of the wedding day. So he was the first one that arrived. He arrived very early. He actually might have been Mush, but he might have been the second one. So going, checking him into the hotel, and he was like so happy for me. He's like, Kurt, you have no idea how. I'm like, Briggs. He's like, no, but I'm so happy for you. you know, and that's what made Briggs Briggs. Like, hey, he joked around, but you know what? He was such like a nice guy. You know, and with a heart of gold. So, you know, like that's something I will always remember. You know, he like him just saying, like, I'm so happy for you, like today's, you know, you're getting married to someone you love today, you know, and it's something I'll always remember. And I mean, he had a ball at you know, at that wedding. And you know, we look back at the video and you see the video and Briggsy doing his dance moves. It's something you know, we'll never forget. And we always have that, you know, like that's the great thing. Like I could always go back and watch that, you know, and remember that. There's Wayne again. Thanks again, guys. I have to run. Love you, Briggs.
Good
Thank you,
seeing you,
Wayne.
I
All
mean,
right, Kenny, who do you want to bring in? You want to
bring Tim in real quick, or bring Bobby in. Bring both in. You know.
All right, we'll bring both of them in.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, do you got us, Tim?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I'm going to bring Bobby in too.
I messed up in the past. From now on, there will be
Bobby, do you hear us?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to take the photo off just for a second because I don't see Bobby on the screen. Kenny, would you be able to help me with that? Oh, wait, Here we go. I can do it this way. Perfect.
There we go.
I want to get pictures of Briggsy. All right, so I'll start with Bobby real quick. Tim, by the way, I got some pictures of you and Briggsy up. I don't know if you can see that now. You can go back and see it.
Yep.
Bobby, I'm going to start with you because you and him were the ones that started this. And you know, me and Kenny saying tonight, if it wasn't for you two guys, you know, we might not be here tonight. We might not be doing all our podcasts and stuff that we love. So if you could just talk a little bit about how it got started, Bobby, and just, you know, just your thoughts on Briggs.
I see a bunch of Carsons there. Who's Carson? Hey,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Hey, Lori.
hi, Bobby.
I was thinking about this today where I was working. I was trying to figure out. It's been several years now. And I was trying to figure out how this all started. I believe it was he was friends with my friend Dina, who lived across the street at the time. And then about the same time, I started doing a couple of DJ gigs there at the firehouse. So then we just hit it off pretty quickly, and decided, I started doing N95 Sports Network back then, and was looking for content and shows, and that's pretty much how it started.
And just what's your overall, I mean, I've said, I don't know if you heard me before, but I told Lori and you know, I'm going to get Tim's words on it in a little, and Briggs agreed with me. I just think that Briggsy was one of a kind. I just think that, you know, I do. And I mean it in a good way, in a funny way, like just in a heart of gold, like the kid would do anything for you. I just think there will never be anyone that could compare to him. I don't. So what's your thoughts on that, Bobby?
No, absolutely. And don't forget, for a good 2, 3, maybe 4 years, when I was DJing at the Bada Bing, he worked right behind me. So that also increased our bond because, you know, we worked so close. He'd pop in during lunch. What's going on? Blah, 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 blah. I mean, I laugh at this now because I couldn't believe I did this. But he borrowed my car a few times. And, I remember a few times I went with him myself. We both went, picked his daughter up and drove her around. And, we got pretty close there, talking about relationships and girlfriends back then. And, obviously sports was right behind that.
Kenny, I know you want to take over. I know Tim's here for a second. We'll get back to Bobby in a second.
Yeah, Tim, we got a lot of new people watching, some old friends watching. Let us know brief history with Briggs. You grew up with him, and give us a good fun story about Mr. Briggs. That you could share with us and our audience.
First of all, I want to say thank you guys. Doing this is means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to Lori. Keeping his memory alive for people who didn't get a chance to meet him or know him. I will say, just to answer Kurt's question there, thank God there was only one Briggs.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the world could handle another. He was he was fun. He was crazy. He was my best friend. He was my brother. You know, it still gets me. Still gets me that I don't get to share a lot of things that we always talked about. You know, growing up.
I know it's hard, man.
Every
I
year.
know.
Every year. You guys kill me with the show,
I'll
man.
share. I'll give you a moment. I'll give you a fun story about.
Guys, real quick, Kenny, real quick, because I want to get this comment in. Our good friend Sharif Neely saying Briggs, his smile could light up a dark room. That's great
true.
comment. That's a great comment because that's true. That is 100% true. And you know what? Good day, bad day. That's 100%. He was always like, I'm going to make the best out of this situation. And I don't know if you guys heard me before, Bobby or Tim, like my balcony story when he's walking around with a meetup sticker of Steven and he's in the bar. He's like, why are people calling me Steven? I said, Briggs, you got a sticker on. Somebody put a sticker on you. You know, so just, you know, I'm sorry, Tim. I had to get that in.
No,
and I wanted to get that comment from Sharif.
No, that's fine. Listen, you know, you guys know Briggs. He was, like you said, one of a kind. Found just ways to get into trouble. And then he would laugh and look at you, and it's almost like you can't be mad at him. You know what I mean? It's like, it was almost like expected. And then, you know, it's, yeah, it was just Briggs. It was called being Briggs. You know, you got Briggs. Like he pissed you off, and then he laughs at you, or he makes a joke, whether it's about himself or you or something else or sarcasm, and you're just not mad at him anymore. And the reverse was me and him as well. So he would just not be mad at me. There was a time we didn't talk, and then when we started talking again, it was like that time never even existed. You know, I do have a funny story. So my house is being remodeled right now. Actually, I'm doing a remodel. So I have some of Briggs's ashes with a picture of him that we had, and they were standing, and I was like, you know, I don't want to leave it out. There's gonna be a lot of dust everywhere, you know, things like that. So I took this mantelpiece and I put it in the closet. Don't you know, that night I had a dream, right? In the dream, Briggs comes to me and he says, dude, you put me in the fucking closet? I said, Briggs, you've always been in the closet. Dude, we argued in my dream for like 30 minutes about me putting him in the closet. So when I got up in the morning, you know what I had to go do?
Take him out.
I had to take him out of the closet. And I just started laughing the whole day. I couldn't believe he came to me like that. But that's what he was. You know, he was my best friend, and you know, he was really my brother. And you know, I will say this. You guys keep saying that he started the show and this wouldn't happen. You guys are very good at this. You know, whether Briggs was there or not, he may have been the catalyst, but you guys keep it going. You guys are strong. You know, you have great camaraderie. It's great to listen to you guys, and I really appreciate you doing this. You know, really, it doesn't make it easier. I'll say that. His memory is strong, and Lori and I, you know, send pictures to each other all the time about finding Briggs lookalikes.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a lot of fun. But thank you again, guys. I appreciate it.
And Tim, Lori, Bobby, I've been saying this all show, and this is the truth. He's the reason why I met Bobby. He's the reason why I met so many great people along the way. And here's another gentleman that's one of our followers, Roy Osborne. He lives in North Dakota. Sounds like Briggs would stick a paper on people's back that says, "Kick me, please. Just go get a laugh." Just to get a laugh. And that's Briggs. People, you know, watching the show that don't know Briggs, learn from Briggs, from all of us, and that's the truth. We would do something like that. He would put something on somebody's back. And there's a picture that Kurt put up. That was at the firehouse, and I'll never forget a story there. So the smaller guy there is my friend Che, Chathan, but we call him Che. And Briggs and Kurt didn't know his name. We just got introduced, and Bobby didn't know his name. So he comes in and he says, "Yo," you know, to everybody, and trying to get his name. And I guess Che didn't hear him, so Briggs just nicknamed him Yo. But the funny part of the story is they're doing a live Briggsyonsports show, and Che was quiet the whole time. Briggs had me on doing a segment on the Kentucky Derby. And then all of a sudden, they're debating on LeBron James and Michael Jordan, and Che just blabbers out LeBron James, and Briggs just went off on him. Only knew the kid for about 30 minutes. And there's the sarcasm coming, Tim, that you said about Che saying LeBron James instead of LeBron James. And I don't know if Bobby remembers that and Kurt remembers that, but it went on the rest of the show. And Che even, like, they only knew him 30 minutes. Che even, like we said, you mad at Briggs for 5 minutes, and then you're friends with him right after that. And I was the same with Che. And he came over to visit us in Maryland, Briggs, a couple times, and Che and Briggs became really good friends. So,
Kenny, let's do this. Let's do this because let's.
Kurt, you know how many times
Can
I
I-
ironed those pants in the picture you're wearing?
I'm sorry, sis.
You know how many times I ironed those pants in that picture you're wearing?
Who, you ironed them?
You know how many times?
Oh yeah, you probably did. But you taught me well because I'm good now. I iron Jen's clothes. Just an FYI.
Oh wow.
But let's
Hey,
do,
hey,
let's
guys,
do this.
I got another great story for you guys
Sure.
here about the show. So, as you guys and most of you may know, that Briggs and I worked together, right? And his office was in the back of a warehouse. So, unfortunately, I was his boss, and I say that unfortunately because we always blurred the lines. But I go back there and I hear talking, right? And I'm like, I come back there, I go, Briggs, what are you doing? He goes, oh, Tim. He goes, you got to just leave me alone. I was like, Briggs, we got stuff that needs to get out the door. He goes, no. I got to mess with Kurt tonight, and I need material. I'm practicing for the show. I'm like, are you kidding me? The show? He's like, no, you're gonna listen. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. That night on the show, all he did was bust your chops. I knew all the material.
Oh,
Like, he would
absolutely.
get ready all day long and frustrate me because he wouldn't actually work. He'd be getting ready for the show.
Absolutely.
But that's
You know
how
what?
much he put into the show.
I had to deal with them on the show, and Lori could be my witness, right? So I'm dealing with Briggs coming at me. It's like show material. Then Briggs is fighting with Bobby over something, so I got to break that up. Then it's like, Briggs is bringing Briggs. It was like, and then we're like, but then you know what, Bobby? How smooth did those shows? It was like people were like, those shows were awesome. Like, those shows are fantastic. If people saw the beginning, like the prior to the show, they would be like, that's must-see TV. Who's killing who?
Right.
I wish we had StreamYard back then because there was so much. Now we can take phone calls. It's so easier. But we'd argue every week. Bobby, do we have phone calls this week?
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know.
And then
the phone calls never
Lori
work.
said, we would send Lori outside in the cold. Lori, try calling us. No, we don't hear anything. Stay out there, Lori. Try it again. We're
And I'm
in the heat of Lori
freezing.
outside.
Freezing. Yep.
Let's do this, Kenny. Let's go around a couple more stories. I got two, and I'll go to Sis next. But here's my two stories. My first story had to be the first time he met Jen. We go to Anthony's Coal Fire in Clifton, right? So Jen's like, I said, oh, I want you to meet my friend Briggs, whatever. So I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. I'm just warning you now. What could happen? She goes in. He has a written test for her. No joke, a test. Right. So I forgot what he's asking. Whatever he's asking. Do you like sports? Do you like this? Yada, yada. So he gets to 10 questions. So he says, how'd you do? He said, I can't give you an A+. She said, why? He said, because you failed politics. He said, I gave you a politic question. We're not going to talk politics, but he said, you didn't answer how you should have. So he said, you got them all, but that one. So he goes, I'll give you an A, but I'm not giving you an A+. So that was Jen's opening thing. So I remember walking out. She goes, what a great guy he is. I said, hey, he's a great guy. She goes, I don't care. He gave me an A. I was like, maybe he'll give me an A+. I'm like, you ain't giving me an A+. I can tell you right now. There's no shot you're getting. You answered it like that. You're lucky you got the A. Run out of there with the A. And then the second one, you know what? I'll go to Sis because I forgot my second one. Sis, I'll go to you. Any other stories from you, Sis?
Yeah, he played a pick 3 at the Meadowlands, right? So he's got the first 2 races. They win. So the third race is coming up, and he's sweating bullets. because it's like a $300-400 ticket. So he says, sis, you watch the race. I'm not going to watch it. I said, okay. Race goes off. The horse is laying third or fourth on a turn. I said, Briggs, you got no shot. This horse is third or fourth. Not going to happen. All of a sudden, it's like the horse put it in third, fourth gear. He won the money. It was pretty good. It came in. Yeah.
I got another gambling when we were at Park Tavern, and we're betting like college basketball or something. And I'll never forget, it's Michigan State, and they had to win by, I think, 2 points, whatever it is. The game ends like they should have called a foul. Like they were like fouling the guy, but they never called the foul. So it comes up final. He loses the bet. He gets so mad. He goes outside, right? And I'm just like in shock. I'm like, how the hell did they not call a foul? You know, like I'm talking to other people in the bar. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, right? So Briggs is outside. So the next thing you know, he comes back in. I'm watching the game. And all of a sudden you see the referee like, come back, like bringing the players back. And I'm like, no, what are they going to do? So they called a foul. But what happens is Briggs has no idea. He thought he lost. So he's outside going nuts. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh, my God, this is crazy. And then the guy that shoots the free throw is like a 96% shooter. So I'm like, Briggs is definitely going to win because this guy never misses. So he has 2 shots. What do you think he does on the first shot? Misses, right? And now I'm like, if Briggs was in here, he would go nuts. The second shot goes, he makes it. So I come in. He's just like, I'm getting out of here. Let's get out of here. I want to get out of here. I said, Briggs, you won. No, I didn't. Briggs, you won. He looks at the screen and he's like, all right, what do you want? Drinks. He's buying people drinks. It was just like, that's something like that just doesn't happen. By the way, Jen is saying, hi, fellas, missing Mr. Briggs. Lori, you got something else for us? Thank you, Jen, for tuning in.
I do. I have a funny story. So I go to Florida. I go to Miami, South Beach, with a group of friends, and so we're like there for a day, and all of a sudden he calls me. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing? I'm coming." And I'm like, "Yeah, right." He's like, I'm here. I'm like, "Okay, yeah." He's like, "What hotel are you at again?" And I tell him, right? I'm like, "Oh, I'm on the beach." Right when you walk out of the hotel, come right on the beach. What do you think happens? Who do you think walks on the beach? Michael walks on the beach, like Sharif said earlier, big smile on his face, with his duffel bag, with his wrestling shirt on, his hat, socks, and sneakers, and he puts his arms out like he's here. And he came to Miami to be with us, and he spent the vacation with us. We had the best time. We talked about that story forever. It was the greatest trip. So he's at the bar, same trip. He's at the bar and he's drinking with a man, with a man that we don't know. And he is complaining about the room. Now, mind you, the room was gorgeous room. But Michael wasn't supposed to be there. So the room wasn't big enough for everybody. So he just came and crashed in our room. So he's complaining about this room. And guess who this man was that he was talking to? One of the owners of the hotel. So Michael calls me over. The guy takes me to the front desk, tells the staff to give me something up top. And he's going, nope, keep going. And the people at the desk are like, are you sure? He's like, I said, keep going. We end up with this beautiful, sweet, gorgeous, like we could have moved in. It was so gorgeous. All because of Michael and his, how he talks to people. He made friends with this man. They ended up knowing each other, not knowing each other, but knowing of each other through people, through Pathmark when he was working there. And our vacation ended up with us being in this luxury suite in this South Beach hotel. That's the Michael story right there, right? We had the best trip. That was one of probably the best trips I've ever had.
Sis, I got one more. Bobby, you never heard this, and I don't know if Sis ever heard this, but Kenny, you probably know. Tim, you could probably you might even be able to help me. I want to say it was his English class, freshman year in high school. And I'm not joking. He would carry the magazine. What would he carry, Kenny? The wrestling magazines?
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
and the Meadowlands programs. Those were his
Not
books.
freshman year. Not freshman year.
No, not freshman year.
Don't talk about that because that's my story. Don't steal
Okay,
that.
but freshman year, I want to say, Tim, you might have to help me because you were older than us, but it was either Spanish or English. He went in the first day and he was like, yeah, this class isn't for me. So he told the teacher, I'm going to bring my headphones. I'm going to wear my headphones, sit in the back of the room. I'm not going to bother anybody. I'll see you in summer school and just don't ask me any questions. And he sat every day, headphones on, wrestling magazine out. And I said, when are you going to do it? He's like, in the summer. So he said, I'm not doing this. I don't understand this Spanish stuff. I can't understand this. So he did it. Boom, boom, boom. And he picked it up in the summer. But something I'll always remember when he just told the teacher, I said, what do you mean you told the teacher? Because I told the teacher, just don't call on me. I won't bother anybody. I'm going to wear my headphones. I went into the class one day and I was like, there's Briggs in the back jamming to his freestyle with his headphones. And that was Briggsy. Tim, any other stories for you?
Oh, any other stories? I don't think the show's long enough.
I think Tim wants to hear our stories, Kurt.
Yeah, I love hearing, the different sides of Briggs. The stories I have is learning about the move and being stupid. And, he's my ride or die.
Yeah.
That's, and Kurt, I know he's your ride or die. And Lori, he was your ride or die. Like, if you needed a guy, he was that guy. It was, 1 o'clock in the morning. Briggs, what are you doing? I'm sleeping. What do you think I'm doing? All right, let's go out. I'm feeling like we should go out. All right, come get me. That's what it was. And I'm really glad there was only one Briggs and we got to know him.
Yeah.
And he always has a piece of my heart. I know he has a piece of yours. And thank you again, guys. I really appreciate tonight. This is great hearing these stories.
Kurt, real quick, Tara Perez supporting Briggsyonsports tonight. Thank you, Tara Perez. Zoli saying, gambling Briggs story at the Meadowlands. See Briggs there, and he tells me he's got a $200 credit, but he wants the cash. So he bets soccer to draw when it was 0-0 in extra minutes. Guarantee winner, no extra money, but gets his credit. Next thing I hear is bleep. Someone scored and he lost the bet with like seconds to spare. He was so pissed, crying, laughing out loud emojis from Zola.
That's him.
I'm going to segue right into my gambling story, which goes back to high school. And Kurt, Lori, and Tim will know this, but Sis and Bobby didn't go to Garfield High School. But Mr. Luke Hatch's TV productions class, Kurt was in that class. Briggsy and I, 17 years old. We're not 18 years old yet. We started going to the Meadowlands and we started wagering. But we would bring the programs back and read them in Mr. Lukach's TV productions class and hide them inside like our books. And Kurt would catch us. And Kurt, you remember that. But so we didn't want to get caught. We ended up going to Passaic, and I'll say this now because it's years later. We ended up getting little identification cards that said we were 18. So we go up to the windows. We never have a problem.
God bless.
One day in the wintertime, Briggs was cold. What does he do? He goes into the Meadowlands with his 1993 varsity jacket on. Showing that, we're only 17 years old. We're not 18 yet. The security guard started questioning him. And he said, oh, no, that's my brother's jacket. I'm borrowing it today. And he ended up getting away with it somehow. But I never seen someone take off a jacket so fast in my life and run outside to the car in the freezing cold. There's probably like 10 degrees outside. And come back in with a short sleeve shirt and not care just to get the rest of the betting in. But we never got caught. He got away. He was very nervous about that. Oh, yeah, it's my brother's jacket. I'll never forget that. And the lady said, oh, okay.
My last one is this. This was the one I wanted to do. Senior year, he comes out for baseball. He didn't play baseball the first 3 years, but he said, I'm going to play. I'm like, yeah, come on, play, right? So really good team. First off, he wouldn't wear his hat. No joke. He would not wear his hat because he didn't want to mess up his hair. So he kept the hat on the bench. Never, you'll never see a picture of him with his baseball hat on. Maybe the team picture, but like Briggs like begged them to do it, forced him, right? So we're in a big baseball game, and I remember our assistant coach Dippy says to somebody else on the bench, "Where's Briggs?" Somebody turns around and says, "He's in the locker room. He ordered a pizza." They said, "He did what? What do you mean he ordered?" He said, "Riggs is going to kill him." He said, "No." He said, "He's in the locker room from Cuckoo's Nest and he ordered a pizza. They delivered it and he's eating it in the locker room." So our assistant coach is like, "There's no way this guy's doing this. Like, our head coach is going to kill him." So he walks into the locker room and what's Briggs doing? Sitting down, eating the pizza. So what does the assistant say? "Give me a slice of pizza." He's eating the pizza with Briggs. If our head coach found out, I mean, he probably would have went nuts. We're in a big, like, it's like we're playing for the division championship, and these two guys are eating pizzas in the locker room. But that's just the stuff Briggs did. Like, that just makes Briggs Briggs. So I don't know who else wants to end with a story.
I'll say
Mark
something
saying
else.
Mike used to call me Egg because my helmet looked like an egg shape.
Yeah.
Sharif laughing at that one. I don't know if I could top that one. I gotta think about that. I got some stories, but I don't know if that one is good, Kurt. I didn't know that one.
He loved his freestyle music.
Yeah.
He loved it. We even got a Briggsy move.
Yeah. We made him a mix. We made a mix. Briggsy, this is, Little Susie, Johnny O, DKA. He loved them. Sharif saying, "I've been trying to think of the name of that pizza place for." Yep. Well, that was Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah.
Ordered it. I don't even know how he ordered it. We'd have cell phones back then, but he ordered it and he's eating in the locker room, eating the pizza. But listen, I mean, it's just the memories with him, man. It's and like I always looked forward to Bobby. I would always look forward to Thursday night. Firehouse, man. Lori would come. Tim would sometimes come. We had people showing up, obviously, the owners and stuff were there, but it was like an event, man. We didn't even care. What time would we leave, Bobby? 11:30, 12. We're going to work the next day.
Yeah.
We're there
Some
all
shows
night.
went late.
Draft show. Yeah, we did shows. Like sometimes we started at 9. We would go to 11:30. The time you get out of there, have drinks and stuff. Like it's 12:30, 1 o'clock. We're going to work. And it's like, but listen, it was all worth it, man. It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And again, like, I don't know if Jen's still listening, but it was just like a memory having him there, like for our wedding. Like, it's like, like that's something you'll never forget that, like, and again, like just saying to him, Tim, I don't know if you heard me, like he was the first one that morning and he's like, "Kurt, I'm just so happy for you." And I just remember like, wow, like sticking with me, like, and he's been saying, like, I'm happy for you. Not like happy I'm at a wedding, I'm gonna have some drinks, I'm gonna dance. It was like, I'm happy for you, and it was like, wow, like, because Briggsy, as much as he was, like, he was like, oh, that's a little sentimental from Briggsy, but he was like that. He had that huge heart, but he's one of a kind, man. And I know we lied, Kenny, and we said we never going to do a quote unquote Briggsy on sports, but I mean, we're going to do more and more Briggsy on sports. We got to do them, like we got to do them. I mean, it's like in his memory, it's what he would want, it's what he would want, getting everybody like this together and, talking about them. And he's sitting there right now telling other people, I got to watch this because, and I'm going to get Sis, and I'm going to get Tim and Kurt. I'm going to get them all for doing this. I'm going to get them for bringing it up, so that's how he was. That's how he is, so, I don't know what else, Kenny, you want to go around with final thoughts?
Yeah, I could do some final thoughts. Sis, you want to give some final thoughts on Mr. Briggs? Any final words?
I think everybody pretty much touched on it. He had a huge heart. He was a good person. Wouldn't hurt a fly. And he had a lot of friends. He really did. Rest in peace, pal.
Let's go to Bobby. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, Bobby. Appreciate it.
No problem. I think it's not so much a story, but I think it's pretty apropos that, and Kurt knows this, we did celebrations for the Immaculate Conception softball team. Now, not only is obviously Briggsy gone, but so is Coach H. And
Yeah.
I think it's just like I think it went full circle because a lot of those girls are now at St. Mary's,
Yep.
which I have planted my seeds at and have been doing stuff. And I don't think I'll be able. They moved the game on me next week because the boys and girls are playing the same day on next Tuesday. But we were supposed to have done the softball game on Wednesday, live broadcast, and the boys on Tuesday. But I always had a smile on my face when I see the softball girls because I know we did stuff for them, well, or they're not them in particular, but for IC, and now those girls are
St.
at
Mary's
St. Mary
girl.
now.
Yep. That's crazy
Yeah.
when you think of it. That's crazy.
Lori, you want to give us some final words?
I do. So Saturday was his birthday. So it would have been his 49th birthday. So there was a freestyle concert. I don't know if you know this, but at Wellmont in Montclair, there was a freestyle concert. So I was thinking, where would he be on his birthday if a freestyle concert was around here at the freestyle concert? So I had to go, right? So I go to the freestyle concert and I went with my two friends. So we go to dinner first and we got in there a little bit late, like 20 minutes late. And we walk in, doors open, we walk in, and one of his favorite songs, if not his favorite song, Diamond Girl, I'm sure you remember,
Yep.
that's his favorite song, was playing. I just busted out laughing, and I'm like, I'm glad I came. This is where he would have been. This is where we would have been celebrating. We would have probably all been there together. All of us right here on this show right now. We would have been there together celebrating his birthday. So I had to get, everybody knows he liked to mix his drinks and to get those color drinks, right? He would do a blue, he would do a red, he would do whatever color. So I got a red drink in his honor to cheers him for his birthday. So it was a great night celebrating him on Saturday. And I just know like that's where he would want us all to be. So I went on Saturday and had a great time. Yep. So I want to thank you guys for doing this. This is so special. It really makes me just so happy to hear these stories from everybody. I have my memories and I love hearing everybody else's memories and these funny, crazy stories. So thank you again, guys, for doing this because it means a lot. It means a lot. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome, Lori. And Kurt, I'm going to go next, but I'm going to read Michael Ronquillo. Great stories about Michael Briggs. Another one of our listeners and audience members out there in Arizona. So, Tim, we lost. Lori's back.
Yep.
Again, Michael Ronquillo, Roy Osborne, Trevor, guys that never knew Briggsy, and they hung out with us all night listening to the stories. And it just tells you how much Mike inspired everybody and enjoy the fun stories. You didn't even have to know him to enjoy hearing about him. That's what he did. So he's the reason why we know all these new people. He's the reason why old friends came back tonight. See old friends, Sharif, Mark. Why I'm here next to Sis. Why Kurt and I are best friends today. Why I met Bobby, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And thank you, Briggs. And I look forward to seeing you in the backyard, my friend, because I know you're hanging out with me. So good. Looking forward to some more conversations. But see you soon. Kurt, I'll go to you next, and we'll let Tim get the last word.
Okay. You know what? I've been really thinking about this, and you know what? Hey, let's do this live, right? Because we're thinking about it. I kept saying to Jen for the last year, and I said, I think I actually reached out to Bobby maybe a while ago, and I said, we really got to do something for Briggs. And what I mean do something is like get together, like in his honor, like whether it's at the boys club or the firehouse, and Bobby, you DJ, freestyle music, and we order food and we do something. But you know what? Like, what's better? Let's do it for his 50th. Seriously, like, let's do it. I mean, we got a year to plan it. Bobby.
I got the idea ready. I was going to bring it up to Tim and Lori. We did it for your dad. What do we love? We love going to the track. We do a race in his name.
Yeah. You know what? Do it, little DJ, like rooftop. I mean, we got to do something, and that's just like how we do it. And, hey, let's do it for his 50th. But, other than that,
Kurt, real quick.
Sure.
My last conversation I ever had with Briggsy, out of the blue, he calls me up and goes, Bobby, I have an idea. And this is after the balcony had burned down.
Yep.
He was like, Bobby, we got to do something where You DJ the freestyle. I'll take care of the location, and I'll make phone calls, and we'll find another place to bring back the balcony and the freestyle. And that was the last conversation I ever had with Briggsy.
So I say we do something, let's do it for his 50th. I mean, it would be great to get and listen, hey, whoever wants to join, we reach out to our ex-classmates and his friends and, let's do it. I think that would be such a great, tribute to him and for his 50th. But my final thoughts is, again, listen, I mean, I could probably do a solo show for 4 hours on him. I mean, just, the memories with him. I'll be honest. I've been married to Jen for 6 years. She don't get under my skin like he got under my skin. And he did it to try to get under my skin. And he did. He's the one that he did. He always, and he's just like you said, Tim, he worked on it. He's like, I'm going to get him tonight. I'm going to get him. He wanted me fired up and get me like that. But there'll never be another Briggs. I mean, listen, he's missed, but I truly feel like when we do a show, he's with us on the show, another thing was, watching being able to watch the Broncos win a Super Bowl with him, we were in New York watching that Super Bowl together. And it's a memory I'll never forget. Looking at him, I'm nervous the whole game. He's nervous. And it was just we got one, together. The first two, we didn't watch it together. We watched it separate. That one, we watched that third one. And it's something I'll never forget, because I was with him, and, throughout that Peyton Manning run, it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. And he was always, the negative Nelly. And then that one day though, he's like, I'm not nervous. We got it. I'm not nervous, but, we love you, Briggsy. You're always with us. You're missed. Happy birthday. And like I said, there'll never be another Briggsy, but he probably is, Kenny, saying your Knicks suck. So he's probably saying like that because he wasn't a Knicks fan. So he's probably giving us the dagger with the Knicks. So, but let's do that. Let Kenny, let's definitely do that.
We're gonna work on it. We'll get together with Tim, Lori. We'll come up with something really nice. But Tim, we're gonna give you the final word today, my friend.
So I just want to say once again, guys, thank you for putting this together. What I really like about today is it just shows me that I wasn't the only one. Lori wasn't the only one. Kurt wasn't the only one, right? He's touched everybody who's listening. So my final words is, man, I miss him. I miss him a lot. And I know you guys do too. And whatever you guys want to do, let's get it done for next year because we need a Briggs celebration, man. We need a big time celebration. He would party hard and party all night, and I think we should do that.
And you know what, Tim? We got the locations. We got Bobby to DJ.
Absolutely.
We could do it. So I just say we have a year to do it, Laura. You know what I mean? Yeah. Reach out. Sounds and we do it like Briggsy style, where it's a celebration of him, and it's his 50th, I mean, listen, it's scary. We're 50 years old, but I mean, it's his 50th. Let's celebrate it. And I think there's no better, it's like, it's like you wait for things and it's like we couldn't find a time, but now he's 50th. Let's just do it. Let's do it.
I'm with you.
Sounds good. Yeah, I agree. Let's do it.
Guys, real quick, Jimmy Eiserman saying, what's up, gentlemen? So Jimmy's checking in with us.
Hey, Jim.
All right. So Briggsyonsports, until we do another special edition of it. Bobby, you could sign off because you always did the signing on and sign off. So please have the honor of signing us off tonight, Mr. Bobby.
Oh, geez, it's been a while. On behalf of Briggsy up in heaven and our co-hosts here all over the Bergen County area, we're off. Thank you for joining us on Briggsyonsports. I'm looking forward to next year. Because don't forget, guys, I'm older than you guys. I didn't have a 50th birthday because we lost because of COVID. So we always said that next year I'll be 55. Okay. And that was supposed to be the year we're doing our parties. So hopefully, I'll be we'll call it Briggsypalooza or something.
There you go.
There you go. I like that.
But I'm looking forward to it. Every time I play freestyle up in the mountains all summer, he's always on my mind, and I'm looking forward to it. But we're off. Briggsyonsports. Join us next time in the future. If not, Kurt, connect these damn YouTuber ready. We're off.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.